Hi, and welcome back again. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. So, in my last video, I discussed with you guys, times where I felt that I would have benefited from having mental health support. With that said, I felt like all my other videos were more geared towards the intended parent versus the surrogate slash gestational carrier. So I decided to make today's video about the surrogate slash gestational carrier and key points in her journey where mental health support would be beneficial. So let's do it. Okay, so the first time I thought of would be before matching. This can kind of be a time for her to explore her options, uh, identify her support system, and just kind of preparing emotionally for this journey. Um, I know in our personal situation, we did have one in the before matching stages, which I think was helpful to kind of figure out what exactly we were looking for and what she was looking for. Um, the second time I identify would be after the matching. So you found your intended parents. What's next? So maybe during that time, you're dealing with navigating expectations, communication, and just building the relationship. So having a mental health support during that time would be great as well. The next time I identified is during the medication phase. Haha. So during the medication phase, you're dealing with hormonal change, mood fluctuation, and it's just emotional and physically tolling. Um, Without a doubt, during that time, all support and mental health support would be amazing. So after the medical phase, what's next? The transfer. Obviously, you would want all of the support after the transfer, during the transfer. But I wanted to be specific about those 10 days after the transfer where you're waiting on the 2-week wait, when you're waiting on the results. I know for myself and our carrier, we didn't speak during those 10 days just because we just thought it made more sense for us to not speak because it wasn't like trying to guess and have these conversations and try to figure out how she's feeling. So because we weren't speaking during that time, had she had a therapist, this would have been a good time for her to reach out to that support in that time where she and I weren't speaking. After the transfer, unfortunately, not all transfers work. There's miscarriage and there's things that happen. So mental health support during this time would be wonderful. But we're going to go on the positive side and say after the transfer, boom, one shot, she gets pregnant. So that would be a good time during the trimesters of the pregnancy, the first trimester, the second trimester, and the third trimester. I say the first trimester specifically, just because she may be dealing with just like, oh my goodness, I'm pregnant, kind of like the it's happening type situation, anxiety, I guess you could say, and navigating this, I'm pregnant, but I'm not parenting. During the second trimester, relationship gaps may surface and just ideally during the second semester, why do I keep saying that trimester? This is a time where it's for sure, the child is probably it's going to be a full-term pregnancy. And of course, the third trimester where you're figuring out, like I've been in the situation for X amount of months and it's coming to an end. So that may be a good time to seek out mental health support. And I would say for sure after delivery and maybe, initially the postpartum, because this is a time where you're being separated from your intended parents and you're kind of on your own because now they're parents and they're, dealing with or enjoying their newfound life. So with that said, I just wanted to say that I think that surrogates and gestational carriers give so much of themselves. They create families, they complete families. And I think it's important that they have all of the support that they may need throughout this journey, support in their personal life and support through mental health services would be very beneficial. As always, good luck on your journey. I appreciate you and thank you so much for being here today with me. And I will be posting soon.